Hi everybody and welcome back to American Girl Afternoon. Today we are getting in the Easter spirit, even though Easter has already passed, but that's okay. We are in the Easter spirit, so we are going to be making these little Peeps bunnies for your American Girls. So all you need to make these bunnies are a bunny pattern, which if you get a make and take kit is included, and if you go on the website you can download it. So the bunny pattern, so that it comes out looking like the right kind of bunny. Fabric or felt, and this is actually fleece, so that works as well. Needle, thread, something to trace the pattern with, and if you use the fleece, this is kind of optional, but you can also use batting to stuff up inside to make it plush, which I did do, and you will see that in the time-lapse video. The last thing you need to make the little dots is either a brown fabric marker or brown paint and a toothpick. I use Sharpie, but as you can see on my hands, I trace the pattern with Sharpie and it comes off of the fleece. So you don't necessarily want to do your eyes and nose in Sharpie because they could rub off, but I thought I had a brown fabric marker and I didn't, so I just worked with what I had. So, to make this, the first thing you do is print out or cut out the bunny pattern that you want, and the bunny pattern actually comes in 3 sizes. So I use the smallest one because Peeps are small, but there is a medium-sized one and a large one depending on how big you want to make yours. And you can make yours a pillow for your doll. You can make it a pretend Peep for them to eat. You can make it a stuffed animal. The Peep can be whatever you want it to be, and that's why there are 3 sizes. So I chose the smallest one because I wanted it to be like one that they would eat, or maybe even a very small stuffed animal. And then you cut that pattern out and you trace it onto 2 pieces of fabric, felt, fleece, whatever it is that you're going to be using, because you're going to need a front piece and a back piece. So you trace it twice, and then after you've traced it twice, you cut out both pieces. And then after you cut out both pieces, you start to sew. I thought I was going to be able to flip this inside out so that you wouldn't be able to see the trace marks that I made for where I traced the patterns. But when I got all the way to the end, I realized for the size that I made, because it's the small one, I couldn't really flip it inside out, and I couldn't get the ears to stick back out when I tried to flip it inside out, so I just left it the way that it was. You don't have to be that fancy. I just didn't want to see my stitches, and I also didn't want to see my tracing, but it didn't work out. But you can't see it unless you get really close to it, but that's okay. Then you basically sew up the sides, the ears, and then down the other side, and you want to leave the bottom open, because the bottom is where, when you get to the end and that's the only part that's open, that's where you're going to shove your batting in. Just with your finger. You can use a pencil too if you want. Just you push it in there. And leave enough room so that you have enough room left to finish sewing when you're done. Then after you've got enough batting in there, just sew up the rest of the bottom. And then you're done with the sewing part, and then all you have to do is put the eyes and the nose on. And then you're done. And your doll has a fake Peep, a stuffed animal, a body pillow, whatever it may be for whatever size you pick. But it's that easy. If you're not quite sure how to start sewing, if you're not quite sure how to thread your needle, if you're not quite sure, I used a whip stitch on this, but you could also use a running stitch, doesn't matter. But if you need help learning what those terms mean or how to get started with one of those, we did do some sewing videos back in December. So those will be linked here if you need to go back and reference those. There are make and take kits available for this project. So if you don't have these things at home, I think the make and take kit is going to come with the pattern, the fleece felt or fabric, the needle, the thread, and the batting to go inside. So all you would need are scissors and something to trace with. So that is it for today's American Girl Afternoon. We hope you had fun learning how to make these Peeps bunnies, and we'll see you back here next time. Have a great day.